Hey guys, Papa here. Got a new video. This time we're just going to be addressing some questions that I've had from subscribers. First off is going to be block terminals. Secondly, we're going to go over some shorts and fast track. And last is going to be, a guy wants to know how to cut the power off on a turnout. Stay tuned. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to be handling some questions that I've received from some subscribers. First one we're going to do would be a guy asked some questions about block terminals, which we'll address that. The second one we're going to cover is going to be the guy says, well, I'm saying guy, I'm not 100% sure if all these are guys or gals, because there's gals that are doing train stuff too. The person has a permanent layout and is having some shorts in the track. And then the final one we're going to do was a guy who is, or gal, again, I just do it out of habit, who's going to have a turnout and wants to be able to cut the power off to that turnout, I guess, to park the train there. So we're going to show you what I feel is the easiest way to do that. Here again, they're using fast track. So here we go, and let's address the first question, which is from, let me check here. It's from Flying Din, Flying D-I-N. He says, let's look it up here. Can you use the same methodology to getting power to different areas on the track? So in the first video that I did was showing how I hooked up a couple of different houses using trusty old block terminals. Let's start at the beginning for a quick recap. So the way the block terminal works is power goes from point to point. One of the things that you have to do is connect power into the different sections. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. One is with these particular block terminals that I have, it comes with a nice little connector that you can connect in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to run power into, say, the first connection, and then off of all the other ones you're going to have going out. So now, if you're, you can do it one of two ways. In the video that I showed, half of this was actually cut in half. The top half was the power, was the hot line, and the bottom half was the ground. Or you could do it using two separate terminals. This one actually holds 12. It comes kind of cool. It's got a nice safety cover that goes across the top. So you can have, say, all your grounds going into this side, and then all your powers going into this side, and then leading off to, in this case, 12 different feeds. Now, with the example that I showed was running it to a couple of different houses. I'll show you real quick. We got to move the camera here. Over here, what I did is you can see how we have the lighting. So I have one main power going into a block terminal, which is underneath the table, going to each of the lights. The lighting in the house, or the train station, and for the northwestern side, those are on 4.5 volt, which are running off of a different feed. So, going back to what I was saying with the block terminals. So you can run your different feeds. Now, what he was wondering, can you do this with track? Oh, most definitely, and that's what I do. In my layout, I have main power going into one, and then I have it going out. You can do it a couple different ways. I do it where I just spider it out to about every 3 feet. The way that I do it on my layout, because I don't have a large layout. I would say don't go much more than 6 feet. I also run on the underside of with fast track, I run lines going from one piece to the next. Wrong piece there. Let's grab this one here and show you. So when I put them together, then I'll but solder a wire going from the ground and also to the center line, or the hot line. It keeps the connecting. We're going to go touch that later with connectivity, but hopefully I'm not getting away from you guys here on the block terminals. but like I say, it's having the two. Now, with different types, like this particular type of block terminal, I don't have the this piece to bring them in together, so I actually had to make wires that would bring them together, because the power goes from one side to the other. These are mainly used, or not mainly, but they're commonly used in marine activity, you know, with boats and stuff, because that way it's easy to find your different shortages. So you have to run power from each terminal, and then off of this side is where you'd run your power to your track. Like I said, I originally showed it using going to a couple of houses. Over there I showed you an example where I have it going to a bunch of different lights. I've also used it, there's so much of a mess, you can't see them back there, but I have a couple of turnouts that have constant voltage going to them. There I have just a two-pronged block terminal running the power in there, and then out to both of those turnouts that have the constant voltage going to them. So you can use this anywhere where you got to have power going into one thing, and then you want it to go out to a bunch of different others. It's very simple, easy to do. Obviously, if you got comments or questions, additional questions, let me know. But yeah, I love these block terminals. They make wiring so much easier. All right, so we're going to go on to the next one here. Okay, so now our next thing is from Piedmont Central Railroad. Yes, Piedmont Central Railroad. And he says, I have a question. My layout is essentially permanently down. I did that naively while building my first table. Now I have bad connection that is shorting out on the table. I fixed this problem temporarily by laying a nail in between the two pieces of track to the center joint of the rail that is the problem as it bypasses the short. I'm thinking about soldering the center rail joint for more permanent fix. Have you any experience soldering actual rail? Any advice is welcome. Thanks in advance. Okay, I don't know if you're using fast track or if you're using tubular. So fast track is kind of common for after it's been running for a while and losing that connection. So if you're using fast track, let's say here's your fast track. You could try, if you can't get it up, because you know the best way to do it with fast track is, you know, running underneath and running a little piece of wire. Here, hang on, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, I have some of these all pre-made up. You can have a small little piece of wire. I got these pre-tinned and everything, and you could go from your, if you look closely at this one, you can see I already have a little piece that was soldered, but you can solder from here to here to make that connection. It's a much more solid connection, and you don't have to worry about that problem. Tubular track, you can probably do something similar to that also. I don't have any experience with actually soldering on the top, but I'm imagining that you could do it. You got to be careful because you got to heat this up. If you're using fast track, you got to heat this up, and it might melt the plastic. And then if you're going to solder right on the top, then you're going to want to file that down. But who knows? After a while, it might crack with you know, if you got a heavier loco that's running across it. With tubular track, it's a little bit easier. I would maybe suggest taking a small piece of wire, stripping it down, and putting it, and I just dropped that piece, but putting it on the side and soldering it to the side, making that connection. This is one definitely I'm going to ask my subscribers, or even if you're not subscribing, anybody watching this video, we want to see what you guys suggest. Guy's got a problem, needs to be fixed. Like I said, he put a nail on there just so he knows that's where the problem is. We just have to know how to fix it. I would think soldering is the way to do it. Exactly how he's going to do it, that's where we need to help this guy. Okay, so here's our final question from Pale Horseman. I got this yesterday actually, and it's a good one. It says, I'm very new to the hobby, and what I want to do is a pull-off siding so I can isolate and turn on and off, maybe with a toggle switch, to cut the power to the train in the siding. if I'd like to. Would this be the same thing that I need to do? I'm lost. I really like the video. Keep it up. So the video he had watched was actually making an isolated track for maybe having a crossing gate or something like that. That's not the way that you're going to want to do it. This one is actually pretty simple. There's a piece that you need to get to do it the easiest way. And it is, Lionel part number on it is 6-12073. It's a 1 3/8 isolated track section. Now this one's kind of an oddball one. You can either get it with the road bed or without the road bed. I didn't even notice this when I picked it up. I actually picked it up today. Got it for $3 at a local hobby shop. It's half and half. I've never seen one of these before, but it's kind of funny. Here's the cool part, is underneath. It's wired because right there you have, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a gap right in there to make it an isolated section. So if you want to make this a toggle switch, it's real simple. Cut that wire, run a toggle switch into it, you can run it up, have it off to the side. I've seen guys actually drill a hole right here and put the switch right there because it's somewhere close so they can see it. And then it's nice and simple. On your turnout, you attach it, have your next piece of track in there. And that's where you have it. So here's your main line going down. You have your train come off here. That's where your turnout, your isolated, as long as your engine is past this point, you hit your switch, bang. No power to this section of the track. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, baby. It's an easy one to do. Hopefully I helped you out a lot with that one. You can pick this piece up on eBay. I've seen them for like $4 to $5 with shipping. So you might pay $7 or $8. Pick it up at your local hobby shop. You're going to pay anywhere from $3 to $6 for it. But that's an easy way to do it. If you're not using Fast Track, you could make yourself an isolated piece. Pretty simple. What you would have to use are some little plastic pins on the center, and then have a wire that runs soldered to each side. If I had a piece of track here, I could show you. I'm sure I got one here. Hang on. Let's look. I'll use a couple of turns. So you would use pull this one out, put in a fiberglass piece or a plastic pin, hook them together, but then underneath you could solder to both sides, run a piece of wire that goes to a toggle switch. Same basic concept as this one, only this one with the Fast Track, it's already set for you. So hopefully that one helped you out. Okay, so that's just about it, but I got one more thing for you. I went somewhere today. First time I had been there, Chicagoland Hobby. If you are in the Chicago area or visiting, this is a place that you want to check out. I was really surprised. I've got a hobby shop that is 1.5 miles from me. The place is always messy, it's dirty, it's unorganized, it's really hard to find stuff. This place is nice. I mean, it's clean, the staff are wonderful. I met the owner, Greg, I believe his name was, and my wife sat and chatted with his wife for quite a while. What I like is, when you walk in, they say hi, but they don't constantly bug you. They let you look around, but if you need help, they know how to help you and they know what they're talking about. They have their prices. Oh my God. Here, let me show you. I got this guy, okay? It's an American Flyer, Barnum and Bailey. I think this is a 556 is the number on it. I got this for $5. They had it marked as is. If they have as is on something, they say it doesn't work. I took it home, put a little oil in it. Oh, this baby works beautiful. And look at the condition. Very, very nice. Another thing I picked up. It's a 610 Erie. It runs beautiful. Magnet traction, I mean, really nice. I mean, I haven't opened up yet, but I know that I'm gonna see something when you see a little bit of duct tape underneath, but it does run nice. The lights aren't working. This thing was only $30. $30. and it doesn't have any damage to it. I mean, really, there's a little bit of scraping. There's a little bit of tiny surface rust that cleans up like it's super easy. The decals are in pretty decent condition, but I mean, it's more than you would expect for 30 bucks. So you can't beat that. Chicagoland Hobby. They're located at 6017 Northwest Highway in Chicago. They're basically, I think their hours are like from 10 to 5 or 6 or something like that. Look them up online. You can find that out. They're closed on Sundays. They have a really, if you're into, now I'm a post-war and pre-war guy, they have a really nice selection of post-war and pre-war. It's, I'm going to be a lifelong customer from them. I really love the place. I mean, it was, I'm going back next week. And just so you know, like I say, I got a place about a mile from me. This is 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the traffic, because I got to go into Chicago. I live out in the suburbs, so I have to go into Chicago. My mother-in-law lives kind of close, so I'll drop the wife off and I take off over there. I think it's going to work out. We're going to have a wonderful relationship with that place. I'm looking forward to it. And I think next time I'm going to go there, if they'll let me, I'm going to do a little video and show you what they have. I mean, I was amazed. I saw a 2343 dummy for 40 bucks. I didn't take it out of the case, but it looked like it was in pretty decent condition for $40. I mean, I was really amazed at everything they have. It's an amazing selection. I had to get a part. I've got a brain fart. Sorry, I've got a Polar Express. It's right over here. It's one of the first version Lion Chiefs. The drive wheel gear stripped on it. I've been searching and searching and searching. Guess what? They were able to get me that part, and it's only going to be 16 bucks. One place I had found that I might be able to get it, they wanted like 50 bucks for the part. I'm gonna, once I get it, that's going to be a video I'll be showing you, because it's going to be first time I've really gone into any type of a Lion Chief. I'm normally not a Lion Chief guy, but this is one of the first sets that I ever got. Pennsylvania Flyer was actually my first one, but this was the second set that I got. So when I finally get that part, we'll be doing a video for that. So, but yeah, you guys definitely check this place out if you're in the Chicago area, if you live in the Chicago area. Wonderful people there. It's a nice store. They also have a lot of cool remote control stuff. They got a nice selection of N-gauge, S-gauge. I was really surprised. They got a lot of nice S-gauge stuff. I'm not into S-gauge, but I do like it. There was a lot of American Flyer. I mean, you name it, this place has it. And like I say, what really surprised me was their pricing. The pricing was, I'm a budget guy. I like it as cheap as possible. And this was a really good deal. So, having said that, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. It was a gorgeous day out today. I had to take care of the lawn. I think it's the last time I'm going to be mowing it this year. So it's in Chicago. We're going to start getting cold. So you guys have a wonderful one. If I'm lucky, I'm going to the Great Midwest Train Show in Wheaton tomorrow. They have it every month. It's usually the first Sunday of each month. Although, because this is October right now, they're doing October 30th. I think it has to do with the holidays or something like that. But if I do get a chance to go there, I will be taking some video and I'll be posting that, but it's not 100% guaranteed. Got something else that I'm supposed to be doing if that falls through, because it's Halloween weekend, you know, grandkids, all that kind of stuff. You know, then if I do, I'll post a video. And hey, one last thing. Nice shout out to my daughter. Look at this. She made this beautiful shirt for me. She says, hey, Papa, you got your first pizza merch. So there it is, Poplarville All-Gauge Train. So if you happen to see me walking around with this thing, you know who I am. All right, guys, thanks. Have a great day. Choo-choo! Oh, by the way, make sure you like and subscribe and share these videos with your friends. Even if they don't like or subscribe, but if they need a little help, share these videos. All right, guys, take care of yourselves.